And for more on today's budget, let's bring in CTV News political commentator Scott Reid. Scott, good morning to you. So no doubt this is a big day for Mayor Chow. And so what are you expecting to see over the course of the next several hours?
We'll see some posturing. We'll see a few more people added to that tiny crowd out front of City Hall. And we'll see the budget passed. I don't think we're going to see fundamentally any real slowdown of this budget. And I think a lot of it did have to do, when you were talking to Brad Bradford a couple of minutes, when Courtney was talking to Brad Bradford, you could hear him hinging his vote on the decision to increase the police budget. I do think that one way or another, almost all councillors are going to end up supporting this.
Yeah, what do you think was the deciding factor for Chow making this almost 11th hour decision to change her stance on supporting the police budget?
The crushing gravity of political reality. She knew that she risked not winning the vote in council without that. And she also, I think, understood that she wanted to remove that vulnerability in terms of the public argument, that she didn't want to say, I'm embracing a high tax budget, the highest tax increase in 25 years, even as I play at pennies with the police. She just didn't want to open herself up to that. If you notice her speech this morning, she went to great pains to emphasize that the reason we can't avoid a huge tax increase, the reason we can't try to save and cut more from the existing budget, is that it would endanger public safety, whether that be policing or whether it be the support given in shelters. That's a huge part of her message. That's an adjustment she's made during this debate over the course of the past month, that this increase is necessary because the alternative would put the public at risk. And she couldn't really succeed with that message if she was still, at swords with the chief of police and the police chief and the police union.
Yeah, no, very good points indeed. And when you take a look at this potential budget being her first, of course, and even just earlier this week, we noted that when it comes to her likability, polls now showing that she has gone down. But of course, when you consider she started off close to 75% in favor when it comes to voting, now closer to the 50% range, 55% range. What do you make of all of this now with it leading up to today, with it being budget day?
I don't think people like budgets that that hike their taxes. And her polling numbers started high, but we don't know that the downbound train on her polling has stopped yet. So I expect that support for the mayor is going to continue to fall. I think that she recognizes that if you're going to bring in the biggest taxing budget in 25 years, you're not likely to emerge more popular rather than less popular from that. I'll go a step further. I said this yesterday to Nick and Jen on air. I don't think she's running again. I think she's decided she's a one-term mission mayor, and she's going to hike those taxes. She's going to do what she thinks is necessary to repair services in the city, and I don't think that she's going to put herself before the electorate. So I don't think she's going to be as bothered by the polls as another politician would be. I don't think she ever fears returning to the ballot box. I'll say one thing more. The challenge for the mayor and for council and for all those at the municipal political level is there's an unstated bargain with people, which is that if you're going to make me pay this much more in tax, things need to get better. And so you have to really ask yourself, 1 year from now, will it feel like things are better in the city of Toronto for people who are trying to make their way through the city, whether the people are on transit and do they feel safer? That's a big challenge for the mayor, because if you're going to ask people to take this much more out of their pocket and pay to the city, then you have to give them something in return, and that's going to be a challenge.
Yeah, they'll certainly want to be able to see it and feel it, and as you noted, within months and years to come. We'll have to leave it there. CTV News political commentator Scott Reid, thank you for your insight. We appreciate it.